second and fourth Monday at 11:30 Pacific Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
Have you ever wondered why certain moments can take your breath away? I'm Jenny Sykes, corporate recruiter turned soul alignment strategist, energy worker, and your friendly neighborhood doula for every stage of life except the delivery room. Each week, we open the toolkit, tarot, astrology, hypnosis, Reiki, and more so you can trade confusion for clarity, an autopilot for intentional alignment. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, a spiritual awakening, empty nesting, or just the sacred messiness of becoming, this space is for you. You're not just evolving, you're remembering. Let's rise together. The Ascending Dawn Doula Show starts now.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Pat. We got a great show for you today. I get to take this journey with Jenny Sykes. First of all, I want you all to write this down because you're going to want to refer back to this before the show's over. Ascending Dawn Doula, DOULA.com. That's it. Now, if you want to go over on TikTok, it's Ascending Dawn. If you want to go a million other places, you'll get that information. Facebook, Ascending-Dawn-Doula-LLC. But the bottom line, and the reason I'm telling you this, is because what Jenny is going to walk us through with minimal interruption from me is one of the most important messages that we could have to kick this year off. It's actually the lost message. And what do I mean by that? It's balancing the human experience with spiritual awareness. And it isn't just about me posting this morning very badly. I really apologize. I promised to get my social media skills up to par. The geese that decided they are going to live in the front yard. Out of all the places, over acres and acres and acres, they don't even go to the pond anymore. They come right to the door now. So outside of that, what does that mean? When they show up, what are you bringing in? But even more importantly, do you even know that you're an energy body? Today, Jenny's going to walk you through it. And more importantly, why chakras matter. Jenny, this is so important. This whole balancing thing. I mean, obviously, this is important. You must be seeing something in the clients you're working with.
100%. And actually, this is what instigated, right, or pushed me to use this as our topic today, because I have had many clients over the last couple of months going, I don't know what's going on. What in the world? And it's not even just the world at large. It's within their own space. And so when we start peeling back the layers of the onion with it, and we talk about, okay, tell me about your job and your home and your relationships and how you feel, we're seeing some common denominators in the blockages of their chakras, and it's in their lower chakras. And so the more that I unpack this, and I provide energy healing with Reiki, which does focus on many different points within the body, but definitely the chakra system. I think a lot of people are waking up, spiritual awakening, I should say. And with that, it just floods the body, floods the system. All these upper chakras are going, yeah, we're open, we're ready to receive. And yet the lower chakras that keep you grounded on this planet in human form are like, I don't understand what you are doing right now. So it's this imbalance that is happening. And we're seeing so much that's happening in the world, as I mentioned, on the macro level and on the micro level. But when we look at these chakras, we develop our chakras as we grow. From the time that we are born until 7 years old, our root chakra, our stability, our security, knowing that we are being fed and taken care of. And that progresses later on into the sacral chakra, the creativity and the pleasure centers of adolescence, right? We've all been teenagers. We know how that goes, right? And then that progresses into the solar plexus at the belly button of I am, creating that identity for who you are up until your early 20s. So those first three chakras, they're the foundation of us being spirits in a human body. We have that development time frame. And then we start exploring all kinds of things like intuition and loving people with our relations and expressing ourselves. And getting connected with in the spiritual realm. And then we redo it all over again in our 40s and 50s, starting right back at the root. Long story short is people forget that there is a soul within this
Yeah.
human body that we're in, and we're here to have a human experience. I had a client recently who was very, very much connected into source, but not grounded in any way, shape, or form. And it did get to a point where this individual was possibly in a psychosis scenario.
Wow.
And I did have to refer on to a medical personnel, but I
Hmm.
do come back to the root chakra, the lower three chakras that are fundamental to us having a human experience on this earth plane, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
well, it does make sense, but let's break it down for a couple of people listening. If you're not aware of what we're talking about, uh, do you have any back pain? Okay, how are your kidneys doing? You see, because this manifests in the physical body, but we don't always connect the bridge between the physical body and spirituality.
That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And all these are, and let's take the woo-woo factor out, right? Because people are like, oh, that's
yeah.
a very hippie-ish, or it's very, insert continent here. This has been around
Yeah.
way before modern medicine, way before modern medicine, going back to Vedic times and yoga and Ayurveda, proper eating and taking care of the body system. These energy centers are all up and down our spine and they all flow. They flow from our tailbone, excuse me, up to the top of our head, just like a snake, right? They go up like this, and I'm trying not to get in front of my mic, but I use my hands, right? Like a snake from your tailbone, which grounds you on this earth in human form, up to your crown, which is connecting you into spirit. But you want all of these chakras as open and balanced as possible. And you do find areas that are a little thrown off with blockages because of the energy that's blocked in the kidneys, the energy that's
Right.
blocked in the abdomen, in the belly, in the throat. This is one of the reasons why I wear blue most times, is it helps open up that throat chakra. Anything I can do to open that throat chakra
Yeah,
up,
me too.
right?
Right. But this is really, it's very important because navigating waters in the world we live in today and not having a spiritual baseline to get support, it's just not going to work anymore. We are entering an age that is going to move so quickly, right? It's exponential. I was talking to somebody the other day and they asked me a question and I said, well, do you know what this is like? And they said, no, it's like the invention of the wheel. That's the energy. And they looked at me like, what the heck are you talking about? I said,
It's
think
big.
about it. The invention of the wheel changed everything. What's happening in technology now is changing everything. I don't care what job you have. If your boss asks you about AI, you better say something.
Yes.
But it's not an unusual push. What's unusual is what you're talking about today, not balancing the energies within us in the outer world, in our spiritual realm, so that we can navigate and really tap into everything we are, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every day we should be finding a way to not only clearing our energy of others and other energies that are in our space, but to get grounded. 3 deep breaths can bring that root chakra at your tailbone right back into balance.
Yeah.
Taking a walk for 5, 10 minutes, getting some vitamin D, eating a nourishing meal that's from the ground, a salad, some chicken, right? Clean foods where possible. That can bring you right back into balance with the root, which brings us more balance into being a human, but a spiritual being in a human meat suit, right? You got to be grounded in order to make those conscious decisions and not always be in the floaty state of, uh, you know, different dimensions. I mean, those are fabulous. We can talk about that another time, but you don't always want to live there because your purpose is to live in this
Yeah.
body in this lifetime.
Yeah. And moving up from the root chakra, let's talk about this a little bit because I wasn't kidding when I mentioned the back and kidney because kidney is an important factor. I mean, you can look it up, y'all look it up on your own, you'll see what kidney means.
Hmm.
But a lot of times it's misunderstood as back pain, and it's not. But there are different, I like to call them different layers. I have two different chakra scrolls in my room.
Nice.
One of them is in the form of a lotus, right? Which you
Hmm.
can't see it, but the other one is actually a scroll. And for the longest time, I had it upside down. Oh, oopsie. Oopsie. Yeah, no kidding. Intuitively, I put it upside down. Now
Interesting.
I know better, but I put the colors in the wrong direction. Or did I?
I was gonna say, did you? There might be some more to that.
We could do a whole show on that. But
Yeah.
but what I'm trying to say is as we move and we understand this, let's talk about the sacral chakra for a minute.
Yes. So sacral chakra, pleasure. When you go and you eat that banana, right?
Oh, I just had one.
So, see, I did too. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect timing with that. There is
Yeah.
a pleasure palette with it. We have mouths that take in the senses, the texture, the smell, the taste. That's your sacral chakra, your creativity. You get an urge to go do pottery or to paint or to sing or to dance. Those are your pleasure centers. Intimacy is also a pleasure center. The sacral chakra is very much about reproduction and keeping the society going, if you will, but it's your pleasure palette, and that's one of the chakras that start really getting tapped into that 14-year-old time frame where we just go, whoa, wait a minute, hormones are rushing, what's happening here? But it's so much more than that. It's pleasure and joy and creativity and just really embracing the beauty of life.
Yeah. And doesn't it also bring up the contrast to that? Like if you didn't do real well on the other chakra and you get to this point, all the issues of leadership and confidence and guilt and shame really come
Mhm.
to the forefront. So isn't this the place then as we move through this sacral to solar plexus, as we move through this, we start to see our evolution. And what once was evolution of the real physical nature, we
Mhm.
start to move into looking at the more parts of who we really are, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those first two absolutely feed straight into the solar plexus, the identity, the confidence, the discipline, who I am, right? And so if the root and the or if the root and the sacral are a little wackadoo growing up, and we all have our curveballs, right? But they do impact the I am identity. But what's interesting about this is if you flash forward to your 50s, and you're going right back into that solar plexus time frame because that 7-year cycle, you get to
Yeah.
definitely look back and go, I think it's time to heal. I think it's time
Mm.
to heal these chakras leading up to the solar plexus. It's a beautiful cycle. Every 7 years, we're focusing in, and it just happens naturally. It's the craziest thing. Last year, I started working out. Okay, cool, right? Not my jam, but all of a sudden I want to do it. This year, Fire Horse. Yeah, I'm in it. Saturn and Aries. Yeah, I'm in it. Do you know I looked at the cycle of chakras last night, reminding myself of the ages, and I said, guess who's going back to her root chakra?
Wow.
The fundamentals, the stability, right? The
Yeah.
growing, the every single day of being grounded. And what does movement do? It
It
grounds me
grounds you and disciplines you.
and
And,
discipline. Mhm.
it's a very strong pull. It's funny because you and I are both like doing this, join the gym thing. And
Right?
I accidentally joined the wrong gym. So I'm trying to get my insurance to undo that so
Okay.
that I could join the gym I want. I'm typical of a fire sign born under a tiger fire sign that needs to slow down right now. But this moves us into the higher chakras. And this is really important for us to look at. Everybody thinks about, oh, my heart chakra. They want to skip the heart chakra. They want to go right to the others. But we need to take a minute to talk about the heart chakra because I believe that in human form, it is one of the most used chakras we have. I don't have any
100%.
proof. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a progression because if we don't go through the solar plexus, we can't handle. this next deal.
Not at all. So think about the I am, or the identity, I should say, of that solar plexus right there at the belly button, moving into the heart chakra. We are all capable of love, and the heart chakra is about love, love for self, love for others, relationships. So, say those first three chakras are a little blocked. They might be underactive, they might be overactive. There will be a action and reaction into the heart chakra. Say that you weren't as loved as you could have been, not as
Yeah.
nurtured as you could have been. Your heart hurts, but the action and reaction is you overgive, and you overgive your love, and you do for others nonstop, always in search of that love, and you overdo it. So there's always a action and reaction, but bringing those first three of the earthly body into balance helps the heart find relationships and work with relationships in the right way. And it's also the bridge into the divine, into your spirituality, into your intuition. That is the primary bridge between the body chakras and the higher chakras. It's fabulous when you break it all down. Uh-oh, we got some technical difficulties. I don't think I can hear you. Mm-mm. Mercury retrograde shadow period.
I'm going to have to use a different mic. Do you hear me now?
I hear you now. How
Okay, I got
funny.
it.
We were just talking Mercury retrograde and why
Oh my
everyone's going
gosh.
crazy right now.
I
Ta-da.
know. And my Yeti just all of a sudden said, "You ain't talking anymore, girl." But part of what I wanted to ask you about is in this journey, there is an evolution of these. And you mentioned every seven. I want to go
Mhm.
to the other chakras because I'm in the middle of a chakra crisis, I think.
Okay.
Uh, but you mentioned something about every 7 years. Can you just,
Mhm.
I got a text message and they want you to just talk a teeny bit more about this and then go and finish the others.
Absolutely. So the seven every 7 years? Absolutely. And I actually have my little cheat sheet. I'm not going to lie. I had to do my math again last night. I'm not good with math, folks. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 with my hands. Okay. So yeah, every 7 years we have a focus in on that specific chakra. It doesn't mean the other chakras are being ignored, but the primary focus, whether you know it or you don't, is in that chakra. So 0 to 7, you've got your root. 7 to 14, you've got your sacral chakra. 14 into 21, you've got your solar plexus. I cannot believe I'm using this without the cheat sheet here in my math in my head right now. Right? And then we go into 21 into the later part. That's love and relationships, but that leads into self-expression. And as you get into the end part of the 20s, we know Saturn returns happen and people have a really, really difficult time in expressing themselves. But that also helps them to express themselves with that root chakra. And then once all of those start being worked on as you age, right, then you start developing your intuition, your third eye. You start getting those nudges to go left versus right. And if you follow them, you begin truly developing your skill to then work with your crown chakra and connect in with your creator, God, universe. Insert label here. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's love, it's kindness, it's compassion, it's connecting into much more than the
Yeah.
physical meat suit. But you can't do that well if you're not grounded with the first three.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
And this is what I want to bring full circle now. There's a reason we're talking about it. And one of the reasons we're talking about it is because many, many, many people do not know how to create harmony amongst them. And they don't look at the signs. So let me just give you this little tip and then you take it away to bring it full circle. I've been really having a hard time with the design of our websites.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with them. But I went back to my original vision for the Transformation Network in 2001, where Mary Verplank and I designed what we wanted the Transformation Network to be about. And I now have lost my way a little bit, not from the public's eye, But I saw the network very different than a podcast network. I saw it as a community where if you went to the website, there are going to be boxes you could click on and communicate and ask questions. So I stopped. I mean, I finished the designs, everything is working beautifully. But I stopped and I asked for guidance. What is stopping me from bringing forth the original vision?
Mm.
And you cannot explore the world of possibilities if you don't understand why you're stuck or where you're stuck. And doesn't this help in the work you do? Really look at people and one, know where to begin, and two, know where they want to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so my very first question then back to you, and we could take this offline, is okay, Dr. Pat, tell me your age. Don't do it now. It's okay. We can take it offline. But then we could take a look at the chakra that's tied into this 7-year cycle. And yes, this is absolutely a beautiful tool. And again, it's a tool, right, to help clients get into a space of understanding where they are at. And you ask those open-ended questions. And you may even I do, sprinkle in some astrology, sprinkle in some numerology. Let's unpack it. Let's
Yeah.
peel back the layers, and then we can create a plan that's customized for you and getting you through the process of unblocking and balancing so that you could breathe a little bit easier and have those downloads easier, but still be in a good grounded space every single day. Absolutely. Chakras,
Yeah.
love
So
it.
to answer to your question, according to, I'm in the higher consciousness crown chakra age group, uh,
Okay.
at least. And so what I've loved about that is the thought didn't hit me
Mm,
until we moved into the year of the fire horse. So it is what you're saying. It isn't just unidimensional,
mm-mm.
because I've looked at that website page that Mary and I designed 2001. That was the original vision. And you can't get trapped by asking the questions that are limited. And I think that's where you come in. Because
Absolutely.
a lot of times we want to ask ourselves silly things like, why am I not doing that? Like, that's like a double negative thing, right? But that's
Yeah.
not going to give me the answer.
No.
So let me ask you this question. How do we keep our instincts, intuition? How do we get this so that we're not just guided, but it explains to other people why you and I are joining the gym?
It does. It helps with that, right? It's both
Yeah,
the chakra system and astrology mixed into one. See how they all go
yeah,
together? It's all
yeah.
these different modalities. Yeah, so I'm sorry, ask the question again because I got lost with the different interdimensional modalities.
Well, I mean, the going full circle is to really look at everything we've talked about, and the question is, what is it about this that ancients have used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years? I mean, you can see it in the hieroglyphs in Egypt, the
Yes.
color palette and what was used. So let's look at instinct, what it does, intuition, what does
Mm,
it do, and energy balance is the
absolutely. So
punchline.
first off, instinct is your body's fight or flight. That is from your survival mechanisms. If you instinctively know you need to go to the hospital, you know you need to go to the hospital. That's instinct, that's survival. Intuition is that nudge that you get, go left instead of right. And then it gets louder, go left instead of right. And you might hear it, you might see it, you might know it, you might feel it. It comes in many different ways. Intuition is within your body system, but you get there by working on those higher chakras, right? And the whole energy system, balance every day, and you can tap into those higher chakras. You can find ways to remove that creative block or find a better way to express yourself. Grounding root chakra every day will open up the channels to the higher dimensions, but you gotta be in this earth body. You have to be in this earth body to really get the experience.
Um, please let people know how they can work with you, because we talked about this earlier. It isn't unidimensional, and you bring in
Mhm.
numerology, astrology, Reiki, so many things. You're not just saying to somebody, you need to heal this, you actually help them. What is the best way for people to contact you?
Absolutely. Ascending Dawn Doula, ASCENDING, dawn as the break of dawn, Doula, Doula. You think I'd have that down packed by now, but Ascending Dawn Doula, and I am on all the socials, so it's very easy to find me. Just type in Jenny Sykes, you'll find me. I promise. I'm there.
All right, we got about a minute, but I need to get a tip from you.
Yes.
How should we handle this upcoming Mercury in retrograde?
Oh, it's in Pisces, which makes it so poetically beautiful for right now. Take the time to go inwards, work on your intuition, develop your clairs, connect with someone like myself or you, but go inwards. And it's okay. You don't have to speak. Celebrate yourself in painting or drawing. Get creative, but take time for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much for today. And for those of you out there, I can't tell you enough about why it's important to work with someone. I have multiple people I work with. Why is that? Because I have a vision and I don't always have a plan. And sometimes, no matter how many tools I have, I get a little bit confused. And what is the confusion about? Generally, it's about something being blocked. And working with Jenny is a way to get past it, even when you have no clue what that is. Jenny, thank you for today.
Thank you. Wonderful conversation as always.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
Well,
Pat.
we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in with me, Jenny Sykes of Ascending Dawn Doula. Please tune in every fourth Tuesday at 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who's walked with you through a transition. And if you're curious about how to align with your purpose, with your path, come find me at ascendingdawndoula.com or Ascending Dawn on socials. Thanks again for listening. Keep rising, and I will see you next time.